It's about 7 o'clock, almost 7 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to Showtime's Cooking. I know it's been a while. I'm going to start posting more videos this summer. This morning we're out here doing something special. This morning we're out here on the new Pit Boss Pro Series 1600. This is the new Pit Boss Pro Series 1600. It has 1600 square feet of cooking. You have your bottom rack here, and you have another middle rack that goes here. You have a rack that pours out right here. You have your nice new door. Got Pit Boss right here. I like the way that when it falls back, it's double insulated wall. I also have my little side chef right here. As you can see, the Pro Series. But this morning what we're doing something a little different this morning. This morning we're gonna smoke 2 pork butts to make some pulled barbecue. We're gonna smoke 2 pork butts and some 3 racks of ribs to make some pulled pork barbecue. And the 3 racks of ribs is for an event that I have going on. So I'm getting all that done to smoke so that way that can be done. So today, as my grill is coming up to temperature, I have it set at 300. With this Pit Boss, we don't have the 275 degrees, so I got it set at 300. So we'll be smoking it around about at 250, because with the Pit Bosses, they always tend to be 30 to 50 degrees off when it comes. So first up, what we're doing now is we let it warm up, let it burn off. Let it get all that clear smoke out the way. So once we get all that clear smoke out the way, as you can see now, it is burning cleaner now. My temperature down here is 91 degrees and it's steady climbing. So we're gonna close this and let it warm up. And as it warms up, once it gets to our temperature of 300, we're gonna take and put those pork butts up there. I already have the pork butts that had been marinating and seasoned since yesterday that I put them down and I put season on them. I'm going to show you what season I did put on the pork butts, but I had already marinated them and put them in the pan and let them sit over the refrigerator. Now I have them sit out over there coming up to room temperature. But give me one moment. I'm going to bring those, I'm going to show you what those pork butts look like. As you can see, these are what those seasoned pork shoulders look like. This is what those seasoned pork shoulders look like. They're all nice and seasoned all up, ready to go on the grill. But I'm gonna pull one out so you can see it more better of what I'm trying to show to you. As you can see, that pork shoulder right there is all nice and seasoned, ready to go on the grill. Let me get a little closer. That pork shoulder right there is all nice and seasoned, ready to go on the grill. I have 2 of those. And once my grill temperature come up to 300, I'm gonna place those on my smoker to be cooked. And so this is the first time that we're cooking on this Pit Boss smoker 1600. Last night I grilled us some chicken and some steak and some baked potatoes up here, and it did excellent. So now we're gonna take and close this down and let the grill come up to temperature. While the grill is coming up to temperature, I'm gonna wrap my pork shoulders back up. As you can see that they're sitting over there, but I'm gonna take and wrap them back up while the grill come up to temperature. And as I wrap these pork shoulders up, and as the grill come up to temperature, I want my pork shoulders to also come up to room temperature. So that way I won't be putting cold meat up there. And also with the new 1600 series, it came with a griddle insert. Where I can take the 2 middle racks out and I can put my flat top in there. I still have it in the plastic, but I can take the two middle racks out, put my flat top in there, and I can do pancakes, eggs, smash burgers, bacon, whatever I want to cook on this flat top right here, I can possibly cook on it. So that is what we're gonna do today. So hold on to your seats. We're gonna let this grill come up to a temperature at 300 degrees, and our Showtime's Cooking will be right back with you to show you once we put them up there, and also to show you what seasons that we use when we put these pork shoulders up there. So hang tight. We'll be right back with you. All right, welcome back to Showtime's Cooking. All right, as we can see that we're getting ready to put our pork shoulders on the grill, but this the bone sucking salt season is what I use to season the pork shoulders ribs. I also use the Killer Hogs barbecue rub to season them with, and I also use the Pit Boss pulled pork rub. The Pit Boss pulled pork rub that I took and put on these pork shoulders that I let marinate all night long. So, and also what I have here in this bag here that's also been marinated is some turkey legs. So some turkey legs. I have 4 turkey legs that have been marinating in the Showtime season. As you all know about that, they have been marinated in the Showtime season. So they're gonna go up here also too and let them smoke. So what we're gonna begin to do is we're gonna begin to unwrap these pork shoulders. Unwrap these pork shoulders. And I'm gonna sit this right over here, and we're gonna take and put them on the grill. We're gonna let these pork shoulders smoke at 250, because this Pit Boss doesn't have the 275 setting. So we're gonna let these pork shoulders smoke at 250 for about 6 to 8 hours. And the last 2 hours of the pork shoulders, we're gonna take and wrap them till we can get that tenderness and let them cook the last 2 hours in the aluminum foil. So let us go ahead on and open our grill up. What I'm gonna take and do now is take the pork shoulder, and I'm gonna place one of them here, like that right there. And I'm gonna come here, take the other pork shoulder, and place it right there. So as I have those 2 pork shoulders, place it on the smoker there. They're gonna continue to smoke. They're gonna continue to smoke. As you see how I perfectly got them aligned on the smoker. As I took and went and washed my hands to be transparent, and also now we're gonna take and put our smoked turkey legs up there. So we're just gonna take and place them right there, one there. Then we're gonna come back and place another one here and one there. So they've been marinating in the Showtime season. So as we got all that up there, and as you can see, we got everything aligned. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let you see that everything is aligned up there, nice and perfect to where we want these smoked pork shoulders and things to be. So we're gonna take and close the grill up, and we're gonna let those smoke. And as you can see right now, my grill has actually got let me back it out for you a little bit. As you can see, the Pit Boss right now is sitting at 276. 276. The Pit Boss is sitting at 276, which is I got it set at 300 because like I said, always with the Pit Bosses, the temperature is gonna swing. So you know, whenever you open your grill up, you don't want it to let it stay open long, because you're losing a lot of heat. So you do whatever you need to do, put it back down so you won't lose much heat. So we're gonna let these bad boys smoke. We're gonna come back out every hour or so, and we're gonna spritz them with some apple juice and water mixture that we have mixed up. It's a 50-50 apple juice and water mixture that we have spritzed up. But once we're gonna let them, we're not gonna bother with them right now, because we're gonna want them to build up a bulk that we're looking for them to get to, and I'm going to show you that bark that we are looking for. So stay right here with me as we're cooking these pork shoulders. All right, we're back with Showtime's cooking. I'm gonna get ready to take the turkey legs off. They're at the area that I want them to be. They've got a nice little crispy on them. They're the temperature that I need for them to be, and then we're gonna put the ribs up there. As you can see, the pork shoulders are cooking nice and fine. I have spritzed them. As I told you, I have my little bottle here with apple juice and water mixture that I take and spritz my pork shoulders with. As you can see, my turkey legs, nice little small turkey legs, are nice and pretty and golden brown. Nice and pretty and golden brown. Gonna take them off there, put them in my bowl over here, because I don't want to dry them out. They're where I want to be. I'm gonna put them over there. So in this pan right here, we have had our ribs that have been sent out, that is at room temperature. As you can see, that I've also already they have been marinated overnight. And I also use the same rub on them that I use on the pork butts, pork shoulders. As you can see, they're nice and evenly coated. They're nice and evenly coated. The ribs are nice and evenly coated. I'm gonna take and lay them one rack here. I'm gonna come back with another rack. As you can see, all my ribs are nice and evenly coated. I'm gonna take and put another rack here. I'm gonna take and slide one of my pork shoulders over so I can get. There we go. There we go. So I can get another rack of ribs here. There we go. That skin. Look at that. That's cooking. That's the way we want it to cook. As some of you can see, it's cooking just the way we want it to cook. So we're gonna take and slide it over to the next section here. If I can get my tongs around it. See? And I'm gonna keep that fat up under it, because I don't want it to dry out the meat up on the bottom. So there we go. Now we're going to put our last rack of ribs on the grill. We're going to lay them right there. And so it's the same thing with them. We're going to let them cook for about 3 or 4 hours. And then we're going to take and wrap them in lemon foil also. So as you can see, the ribs are on the grill. The pork shoulders are nice, going just fine. While I'm here, I'm going to get my pork shoulder another little spritz. And my ribs a little spritz with this apple juice before they start cooking. And so now what I'm going to take and do while I got the grill open is I'm going to take and run a probe now and put it in one of my pork butts, pork shoulders, so I can take and keep up with the temperature. And we're going to put it in the thickest part of the meat where it's not hitting bone. So we got that there. Take the meat probe, put it up in here. So that's in there. I'm gonna take my other meat probe and I'm gonna put it in my other pork shoulder so I can monitor both of my pork shoulders at the same time. Close that up. Put my meat probes in. Let it cook. As we can see, as I zoom out here, as you can see down there at my grill a little bit, one of my pork shoulders is reading, the one on the left is reading 119. The other one's on the right is reading 140. So we're doing just fine. And our temperature, let me take you see right there. As you can see, see there? My grill, as I had it up, the grill dropped down temperature just a little, just a significant. One probe is at 121, one probe is at 149. So as that continue to cook, as again, that's the Pit Boss Pro Series. We're cooking on our Pit Boss Pro Series. Pit Boss Pro Series. That's what we're cooking on there. Alright, we're back and my hams is where I want them, my pork shoulders is where I want them to be at. So what I'm gonna take and do now is this starts for the wrapping point. I'm gonna take and put them in the foil and I'm gonna wrap them. So I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna take my probe out of one of them. I'm gonna take my foil. I'm gonna sit it right here. Hopefully it'll stay down. And I'm gonna grab this pork shoulder here. And I'm gonna wrap it. As you can see, got that pork shoulder right there. We're gonna take and wrap it up in this foil here. And once we wrap it up in this foil, I'm gonna get another piece of foil so that way the heat stays in to where we want it to stay in at. And now we're just cooking for tenderness. So being that one is wrapped, I'm gonna set that one right there. I'm gonna get me a piece of, I'm gonna get my pan right here. I'm gonna get a pan because I don't want to let all my heat out. Take the probe out of this one. Sit this one in there. We're gonna put our other one back on the smoker. Take and stick our probe. Stick our probe right back in there, not hitting the bone. Put it, close it down. While I go get some foil so I can wrap this one right here. So just hang tight. Let me go get a piece of little foil so I can wrap that other one. As you see now, we had the foil. We're gonna take and wrap this one. We're gonna wrap this one up also. Perfect. perfect, perfect, perfect. As you can see, look at that pretty golden skin there. Look at that pretty golden skin. That is always what you want to see, a good mahogany color on your skin. It's nice and crunchy and everything. Now I could pull this off, but no, we're gonna keep that on there because I want that to cook right into the meat. Keep the meat from drying out. We're gonna wrap this up. And we're gonna stick this right back on the smoker. And now we're cooking for tenderness. So being that's wrapped, that's gonna go right back on the smoker. Our meat probe is gonna go right back in here, not hitting up the bone. And what we're gonna do is shut it back down, and we're gonna let this go, those pork shoulders go for about another 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours wrapped in lemon foil. Our ribs are doing just fine, so we're perfect. So we're looking for an internal temperature on those pork shoulders of around 200 to 205. Right now, we at about 160. We're about 168 on one of them, and we at about 200 at the other one. So basically, the other one is almost done. Basically, we're just cooking it down for tenderness. So, and as you can see, the other one has climbed back up to temperature because they stuck the probe in there. We're now at 182. So now we're just cooking for tenderness. So we're instead of them to go for 2 hours, we're gonna let them go for 1 hour, 1.5 hours of tenderness in the lemon foil, and then we'll be right back with you. All right, welcome back with Showtime's Cooking. Now we have took those pork shoulders off the grill. So that's what that pork shoulder gonna look like once you take it off the grill. As you can see, that bone has came out of there. So what I'm gonna take and do now is I'm gonna take and start pulling this meat apart. As you can see, it comes right apart. See, it comes right apart. And there's another bone that's in there. See, that bone comes right out. All this meat come right apart so it can be chopped up into making the barbecue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my meat cleaver. I'm gonna take and chop this barbecue up. And then I'm gonna add my seasoning in there. So in the meantime, while my viewers are sitting back relaxing, as you can see, I have my meat cleaver here. That I can chop my meat up with. So I'm gonna take and chop all my meat up, and then I'm gonna process it into the pan, and then we're gonna add our season. So just stay tuned with me. As you can see, when I begin to chop it up, it's gonna be chopping up just fine. Just like that right there. Just like that right there. That's what we want when we chop it up. We're just taking the meat cleaver, going down, chopping it up, just like that right there, into little pieces, leaving some of it chunk. We're gonna get that skin in there, because that skin is what adds a little extra flavor. So I'm gonna get this chopped all up, and I'll be right back with you. All right, as you can see, I have got it all chopped up into the seasoning here. I've got it all chopped up nice and fine into the pulled pork stage. What we're gonna take and do now is we're gonna take and add our seasoning. So we're gonna add some Showtime seasoning here. That's all I use to season my barbecue with is my Showtime season. Showtime season and vinegar is what I use to season my barbecue with. Showtime season and vinegar. We're gonna make this not too spicy, but just right Carolina style. So I put a little Showtime seasoning in there. And what we're gonna take and do, just mix that around all up and through the meat. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. So they can gradually get all over the meat. So it's all mixed in there. And so what we're gonna take and do now is take and add some vinegar. Add some vinegar in here. So we got our Showtime seasoning mix in there. Then we're gonna add some vinegar. Because for Carolina style, we make the vinegar base pulled pork. So I've added my vinegar in there. Give it a good mix. As you can see, I'm still stirring it up because I done added the vinegar in there. I've added the vinegar inside my bowl. I'm gonna add just a little bit more vinegar. And I may have to add a little bit more seasoning, but I'm gonna taste it and see. So when you're making pulled pork barbecue, you have to add vinegar, and taste it. Add vinegar, add seasoning, and taste it. And also what we're gonna do is what we're gonna take and add is a little bit of Texas Pete in there. And just a dab of Texas Pete in there, in this mix right here. See? I added some Texas Pete in there to give it just a little kick. We're gonna swirl that around in there. So there we go. Now let's take and taste it and see Is it where we want it to be for that Carolina pulled pork barbecue? Almost there. I'm gonna take and add just a little bit more of Showtime seasoning. Just a little dab. Not too much. I'm gonna add just a little dab of Showtime seasoning. Just hold on, let me grab a little bit more of a Showtime seasoning mix. So, I got the Showtime seasoning mix. I'm gonna pour some more in my other container. First, I'm gonna pour a little bit, just a little bit over my barbecue. And then I'm gonna add the rest in my container. And peppers give it a terrible little kick there. So, let's mix this in, and we'll go back to try it again. That's what we want it to be. That is phenomenal. That is that pulled North Carolina pulled pork barbecue. Has the right amount of vinegar. Just adds a little bit more tab. Has the right amount of vinegar. Right amount of season. So that is the pulled pork for North Carolina that we want. Has that, there we go. Has that, that's the pulled pork. That's that North Carolina pulled pork that we want there. Yep. Perfect. We don't need to add nothing else. We don't need to add nothing else. So that is how you make North Carolina pulled pork barbecue. So as you can see, we let our pork shoulders cook for 8 hours. 6 hours unwrapped, 2 hours wrapped. They got that nice consistency, and that's the consistency of that pulled pork barbecue that we're looking for. Right there, would you look at that? That good North Carolina pulled pork barbecue. So, thank you for cooking with Showtimes, and I'll be right back at you. So now what I'm getting ready to do is that I had a nice sparrow ham cooking. I had this nice sparrow ham cooking down that I had smoked. As you can see, has that nice pretty smoke. I put it on the smoker and I smoked that for about 3.5 hours. So that is ready to be cut up and put inside the pan. So that's what we get ready to do now. So I just wanted to show you that this is a sparrow slice ham that's already sliced. And what I took it done, I just put it in the smoker and let it smoke. And we're gonna take and cut this up and put it in a pan and be ready to be served. Spiral ham cooked in the Pit Boss smoker. All right, here's how the ribs turned out. I have sliced them up, put them in the pan, drizzle a little barbecue sauce over them. Now all they do is they're ready to be reheated when it's time to serve them. Those are the smoked ribs. That's how they turned out. Those are the smoked baby back ribs. They are ready to be warmed back up when it's time to warm them back up. All right, let's finish chopping and cutting up some more stuff and be right back with you.